Welcome back, detectives, to some more Agatha Christie ABC murders. It's time to go inside and inspect the room of our number one suspect here, Mr. Alexander Bonaparte Cust. Let's see if there's anything of interest, anything at all. Alright, we got crazy little hotel here. Let me see if there's anything I can investigate. There's a piano.
It is a very beautiful piano. Maybe Mrs. Marbury likes to play in her free time.
Doesn't look like there's anything else. Let me look at the counter.
It looks like I found the real master of this house.
Ah, Mr. Kittens.
There is no need to worry about the household cat. I'm sure that Mrs. Marbury lets it do what it pleases.
Let me examine her. Guess I can't.
How do you do? You must be Mr. Hercule Poirot. Chief Inspector Jupp told me that you might be coming.
Madame, you may be of valuable help to me.
It would be my pleasure to help you. Will there be some journalists there as well?
I think you might even be interviewed. You are key witness.
I've suspected him for some time, but he appeared so harmless. Oh yes, sometimes he got angry and waved his arms about. But even then, he wasn't frightening. And he was as gentle as a lamb again immediately afterwards. It was only this morning that I understood. He told me he was going to Cheltenham, but my daughter saw him at Euston Station. It's not the right station. To get to Cheltenham, you have to take the train from Paddington. And what's more, Mr. Cust left behind an ABC with Doncaster underlined. As you can imagine, when I saw that, I called Scotland Yard.
This is very observative.
Well done. You were right. He did go to Doncaster.
So I was right to warn the police.
Tell me, did you have any other reason to suspect Mr. Cust?
Well, he's odd. Sometimes he coughs really loudly and complains that his throat is burning, and sometimes he talks to himself and stares into space. He told me that it was because of a wound he got in the war. His head hasn't been quite right since, he said. And then he was in Churston when that millionaire got murdered. I found his train ticket when I washed his coat. He didn't want me to wash his shirt. He washed it himself. But I did see big brown stains on it.
Brown stains. Wonder if it was blood.
Do you think it was blood?
Well, when I saw them, I thought, look, he spilled his wine or his soup all over himself. But now that I think about it, well, they did look like blood.
Cust used to travel for his work. Is that correct?
Oh, it wasn't for pleasure. He was always on well-on trains. But he had to sell his stockings around England. I have to respect my engagements, he used to say.
Do you know where Cust was at the time of the murder in Andover and Bexhill? On June the 21st and July the 25th?
No, I don't know. That was a while ago, you know.
But surely you keep a register.
It won't do you much good. Mr. Cust rents his room for the year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it. Ah! I remember one thing. Bexhill's by the sea, right?
Indeed, it is a large seaside resort.
Well, as it happens, at the start of July, Mr. Cust asked me to repair his bathing dress. Suspicious, huh?
So, it's kind of fishy that she told me that he doesn't really travel for pleasure and seems to not really like trains. Again, that is inconsistent with the profile of the murderer that we managed to draw up several episodes ago, so I'm still thinking there's going to be a plot twist in here somewhere, but I don't know.
Very interesting. Please continue.
I also forgot to say that he started buying newspapers that talked about the case.
Let me ask when he started buying it.
When did he start buying the newspapers?
Let's see. I think it was just after the millionaire's murder in Churston. He didn't seem all that interested before that.
That will be all for now. I'm going to take a look at his room.
Take the key on the counter.
maybe now I can look at her?
This woman appears to be in a good mood.
Well, she's smiling for one. She's peeling some potatoes, I don't know. And she's got a necklace.
Mrs. Marbury is in a good mood. She's working very precisely in producing incredibly thin peel.
Alright. Let me grab the key first of all.
I should check the register. Mrs. Marbury may have been hiding something
My
from me.
God. What a liar.
I don't think my register will help you. Mr. Cust rents his room all year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it.
So let's see.
The truth is becoming apparent, and I have something to say to Mrs. Marbury.
I don't know. I didn't really notice anything there. It went by too quick for me to take note. So let me talk to her.
Mrs. Marbury, if I am to believe the register, you rented room 306 to a certain Mr. Fishman on the day of the Bexhill murder. Room 306 is Cust's room. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, I remember. Just for one night as a favor. Mr. Cust was away, all my other rooms were taken, and poor Mr. Fishman had nowhere to go.
I don't want to come off too accusatory with her. She's a nice lady.
It doesn't matter, provided that you remembered to change the sheets.
Oh, do you think so?
Okay, I think it's time. Let's go upstairs and finally investigate this guy's room. Oh, you know what I'm doing first. Gotta get those ego points. Nice. Let's look in here. Starting in the closet.
Trousers, white shirts. Everything has been washed very well. The Bexhill daily paper, dated from the day of the Bexhill murder.
That's pretty fishy.
Most probably the bathing dress repaired by Mrs. Marbury's expert hands. All the main articles referring to the ABC case are here, from the Churston murder onwards. Nothing before that date.
Alright, this guy is really fishy. I don't know, I'm expecting a plot twist, but at the same time, this is more and more incriminating, so maybe it is him. There's a stain right there.
This dark stain. It could be blood, but goodness knows how long it has been there.
Some medicine here. Oh, it looks like the same one for Miss Asher.
Laudanum Cameron's Chemists. Laudanum, a medicine for coughs. It is what Dr. Clark prescribed for Mrs. Asher. This subject would probably be useful to me.
There's just way too much evidence in this room right now. So another sedative. Kind of like what was used for that old lady in the manor. I don't know why we're not talking about this though. Like, I can't get him to say anything. Let me try again. I don't know why he won't say anything. What's going on? I don't understand.
Diethyl barbituric acid, Johnson Company. I know this medicine. It is a powerful sedative.
Alright, there we go.
This subject would probably be useful to me.
I don't know what was bugging out and he wouldn't comment on it, but either way, we're done here on this shelf. Nothing here. Look on the bed.
How hopeful. This place is a real mess.
Yeah, it sure is. Slightly misaligned bed. That looks kind of messy. That's messy.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Alright, let's move over here. Can't look at that painting. I can look at this, though.
War of 1914-1918. By the King's order, the name of Corporal A.B. Cust, Devonshire Regiment, was published on the London Gazette on May the 10th, 1918, as mentioned in a dispatch for gallant and distinguished service. An army dispatch, wounded on the Somme front, victim of a gas attack. Corporal Cust greatly deserves his distinction.
So he's like a military hero, I guess. Let's take a look at the desk. There's a typewriter there that immediately draws my attention. There's just evidence everywhere. Look at this.
It's an ABC.
A knife, a typewriter, an ABC guide. Are you kidding me?
A long-bladed knife. A murderer's weapon. This object would probably be useful to me. Did Cust drop it when he opened the window? Or was it Mrs. Marbury while she was cleaning? John Milligan, Managing Director, Silky Legs, Frederick Street, Leicester. To A.B. Cust, Marbury's Guest House, 1935, May the 21st. Dear Sir, further to our letters dated 5th and 10th of the month, we confirm we are you as door-to-door salesman, according to the conditions stated in our previous letters. We will send you the articles by mail and also a Redfield typewriter you will be using for every business letter. Regarding the schedule of your rounds, please do as following. June 21, Andover. Arrive by train the 20th in the evening and get a room at Station Hotel. Start your turn in the north part of the town. This letter establishes that Cust went to Andover, but the ink has hidden the destinations of his other trips. I know from Mrs. Marbury that he went to Churton. I just have to show that he went to Bexhill, and I will have proved that he was present at all the crime scenes.
Alright, let's see what else we have here.
Cust is parsimonious. He keeps his pencils and sharpens them until there is nothing left. It is clear that he did not grow up in luxury.
Yeah, let's take a look at the typewriter, of course.
I have to get the ribbon. How am I going to do it?
So I'm assuming that's the ribbon right there. Maybe I can use that knife that I got. Or I can just unscrew
The
it.
left heel has been removed.
So we'll unscrew the right one as well.
The right-hand heel has been removed. Something is blocking the ribbon.
Something is blocking it still. There we go.
And here is the ribbon. Let us see if it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink ribbon for my inquiry. I will let Jack clean the keyboard if he wishes. All the letters announcing the murders were written on Cust's typewriter.
Alright. The eye did look strange there, so it looks like it's the same typewriter, guys. There's just too much evidence here. I don't know if this guy's gonna come off the hook. Look at that, ABC guide's in there.
ABC guides. Enough to sign about a dozen murders.
Yeah, I mean, this guy did it. There's just no way around it.
It's closed.
Closed. Let me try using that knife.
This knife is very useful. Who knows? Maybe it never cut anything other than string.
You know, ideally, I wouldn't
Stockings.
use a possible murder
Let us
weapon
now try and get our brain cells
on the
to
box,
work.
but you know what? It's a game. So, Stockings ABC guide, there's just way too much evidence here. Where was Cust at the time of the Bexhill murders? So he had that newspaper from Bexhill. So he must have been there. And also his room was rented out that day. Yep. He was probably in Bexhill the day of the murder.
The register shows that Cust did not sleep at the guest house on the day of the murder. Where was he? Bexhill. The Bexhill paper reveals it. Cust bought this newspaper in Bexhill on July the 25th. No use continuing the inspection of this room. I've seen all there is to see.
Alright, so let's go back downstairs, I suppose. So we already have the guy in custody, so this is good.
Goodbye, Mrs. Marbury. Thank you for your help.
Bye.
So let me just confront him with the evidence now, I guess.
Ah, Chief Inspector. I was about to leave.
Good evening, Chief Inspector. Welcome. Please excuse me, I must go to the kitchen. I'll leave the key of Mr. Cust on the counter.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've spent ages with the Doncaster police. And you?
I have established one fact. On 3 occasions, Cust was at the scene on the day of the crimes.
Alright, let me inspect him.
I had best talk to Job.
Okay, let's just talk to him then. No need to get impatient.
I've listened closely to what you have to say, Poirot. For me, there's no doubt Cust is guilty. Do you have any element that might prove the contrary?
That is what we're going to look for. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Alright, so let's connect some dots here and instigate this poor guy in the crimes. I guess he's not a poor guy if he's running around killing people. Was it possible to Cust have killed all 3 victims? Yes. He was at the scene of the crime in all 3 places, so... Let's see. He was at Bexhill the day of Betty's murder. Let's see what else. He was in Andover the day of Alice's murder. And he was in Churston the day of Sir Clark's murder. So yes, he was in all towns when the murders occurred. Are there any common points between Cust and the killer? Yeah, the letter from the typewriter. That's a big one for sure. The ABC guides. And what else? Blood on him. I mean, that doesn't really mean much. Especially when he suffers from hemoptysis. By the way, that means blood in your cough, in case you were wondering. I don't know how we know that it's like the one that was used to kill Sir Carmichael, but we'll go with that. So yes, he could have committed all of these murders. And is he suspicious? Yeah, that's pretty fishy, keeping newspapers that talk about the murders. He lied about the destinations, that's very fishy as well. And he has blood on him, that's fishy. Guilty! He's guilty.
The evidence against Cust is overwhelming. His presence at the scenes, the knife, the blood-stained shirt, the ABCs in a box.
C'est vrai. However, the blood Mrs. Marbury saw on Cust's shirt may have been his own. According to his medical records, he suffers from hemoptysis. The murderer cut Sir Carmichael's throat from behind, and the blood spurted outwards. You would expect the murderer's shirt to be stained on the sleeves, not on the buttonholes, yet we see quite the opposite. You would expect the murderer to keep the newspaper articles about his crimes. But Cust's collection starts in Churston, as if it discovered the case rather late.
I agree it's troubling, but it doesn't change my mind. There's small details that we should be able to clear up by questioning Cust.
When can you talk to him?
Doncaster is sending him to us on the first train.
Are they questioning him already?
He says he can't remember a thing.
It's plausible. Doctors say he suffers from absences and amnesia. Mrs. Marbury has confirmed this.
He may have done the murders in an altered state.
A familiar situation.
It's not enough to clear his name. Dr. Thompson insisted that even if you don't know what you're doing, you never commit a murder without wanting to.
Très intéressant. I shall remember that.
Right. I'll go and examine the suspect's room.
Chief Inspector, I took the liberty of removing a few clues to examinatum.
All right, we'll discuss them tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to see if you've missed something.
Yeah, nowadays if you take evidence from a crime scene, you can't use it in a court of law. So I don't know how I feel about all that. I guess this is like the 1930s England, though. So let's go to Scotland Yard. Let's do it. It's time to go question this guy.
To Scotland Yard, please.
So I don't think our protagonist here is too inclined to think this guy may be the murderer. He has some suspicion still, so let's clear it up by questioning him. Here we are, face to face with a killer. Let me examine him first of all.
This man is not in good shape.
Nope, he's not. He looks nervous. Crumpled jacket. Lowered eyes.
He is worried and very tired, and other police have been hard on him.
Alright, let's go ahead and talk to him. It's time to get this interrogation started.
What do you want from me?
Let me start soft. He seems like a nervous guy.
Good day, Mr. Cust. I am Hercule Poirot.
Ah, you're the detective.
And let me ask about the letters.
Why did you send me a letter before each crime?
Why all these questions? When are you going to stop pestering me?
He's angry. Damn it. I'm gonna say I think he's innocent. I'm gonna play the nice cop here.
Très bien. You did not hide these letters. But the question remains, who did?
Probably one of my enemies. I have many.
Again, I'm gonna say that I don't think he's the murderer.
I do not believe that you are capable of murder, Mr. Cust.
I hope not.
And he did have all that army background. I don't necessarily want to say he enjoyed it.
You suffered during the war.
It's true. I was wounded. I suffered. But the army was the only place I didn't feel inferior. No questions. Just orders to follow.
But ever since you were wounded, you have absences, bouts of amnesia.
And headaches.
Professor Clark treated you.
Yes, a few years ago he really helped me with my burned throat.
I don't think he did it. He's just too shy and meek, not confident like the killer in our profile.
Of course, you never considered killing a doctor who took such good care of you.
No, never.
Let me ask him about the 3 towns.
Do you deny being at the scene of the crimes?
So? There was no harm in being there. It was only for my work.
Alright, he's coughing like a maniac here. Oh, maybe I can give him that cough medicine. Let's do that. Be nice to him.
Take this. It will help you.
Thank you.
I like how this guy's playing doctor as well. Look how gentle his face looks while he's chugging that.
Oh, good God, my shirt is covered in blood again.
Bon. I now know where the bloodstains Mrs. Marbury saw came from. Are you well enough to speak?
Yes, I feel much better.
So, after questioning him, it seems like he doesn't seem as shady anymore. I guess let me go with this.
You were seen at all the crime scenes.
Yes, I was. I travel a lot, but not for pleasure. I am terribly unwell in trains. But I had to respect my engagements. My employer gave me very precise written instructions about the towns I had to visit.
Let's see. The company you claim to work for, Silky Legs, has never heard of you. And as for these letters they sent you, they were written on your own typewriter.
The company sent me the typewriter when I started working for them.
Yes, but the letters were received afterwards.
So he typed them before sending them to him. That's kind of weird, but it's the only thing that makes sense.
So it would appear that you typed them before sending them to yourself.
I don't remember. Good God! I don't know what's happening to me. My head hurts terribly.
Alright, what's going on with this guy?
He is prey to a terrible anxiety. Is it remorse? Or simply the pressure of the questioning and the stranger?
So he's shy, he's not confident, he doesn't like trains, looks like he has amnesia. I'm starting to think somebody picked this guy out and used him as a sort of Manchurian candidate to commit the murders instead.
He is in no state to
He may have
reply.
actually done the murders, but he may not be the brains behind it. Let me give him some more medicine and see if we can help out a little.
Take this. It will help you.
Oh, I think I'll be fine.
Alright,
Let us see, Cust. Look at me. You know very well that you committed these murders?
Yes, I know.
But I'm not wrong in saying that you do not know why you committed them.
No, I don't.
so did we just get a confession? Huh.
Let us leave Cust alone. He's at the end of his tether.
Alright. So let's go talk to Jap again.
And what conclusions have you drawn?
Plenty. It might help us to understand him a little better. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Yeah, so my new theory is definitely that there is a brains behind the operation and they used Cust in order to commit the murders. What do we know about his health? We know that he's very sick. Let's see. He suffers from hemoptysis. That's for sure. He has a problem with his throat. We know that from his medical records. And he suffers from absences. So he's mentally and physically weak, not really the profile of the killer. Are there any clues that do not support Cust's guilt in the murder? So I guess the fact that... I don't know, let's see what our options are. He has blood on him. Cust only kept the one in Tristan. So that might be it. Sir Carmichael was attacked from behind and the blood spurted out in the direction of the sea. Okay, so we can connect these two, because his blood was on the front of his shirt, but Carmichael was attacked from behind. Especially with the Tristan murders here. So you would expect the murderer's shirt to be stained on the sleeves, not on the buttonholes, but we see the opposite. Are there any clues that do not support Cust's guilt? So he didn't recognize me, and he also only kept the newspaper from after the Tristan murder. So there are several details which show that Cust is not guilty. Can we say without shadow of a doubt that Cust is guilty? Not completely guilt-free. He didn't have any reason to kill them. And let's see what else. And he says that he did not write the letters. Not guilty. I don't know.
I don't see any clearer than before. This is worse.
There is one point to highlight. C'est curieux. Cust admits that he killed, but he does not know why. What did Dr. Thompson say? Even if Cust killed while in an altered state, it still must have been his deepest desire. He must have had a motive.
Let's keep it simple. Never mind his motive. He confessed.
But you see, he can confess to anything and everything. He denied the murders and then he confessed to them. He confirmed that he never typed the letters. Then, with great ease, I managed to get him say quite the opposite.
Come on, he behaved like a guilty man. He lied to his landlady.
Because deep down he believes himself guilty. From the papers, he noticed that he had always been at the scene of the crimes. He must think that he killed and then simply forgot what he had done.
How can you be so sure?
Let us look at his psychological profile. You will understand my point of view. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
So this is getting pretty interesting here. Is Cust clever? Let's see. Something about stockings. The army was the only place he didn't feel inferior, just follow orders. So yeah, if he's inferior, maybe he wasn't that clever. Let me go with that. So he was a mediocre guy. Is he sure of himself? No, he's shy. There we go. And is he a seducer? Waved his arms about, but he wasn't frightening. He was as gentle as a lamb. He appeared so yeah, this is weird. That's not very seductive behavior. But then this lady's basically saying that she would never go on a date with him, so let's go with that. No charm. And does he like trains? No, he does not. Always unwell on trains. And is he impulsive? He's harmless. He'd angry and wave his arms about. But even then he wasn't frightening. I guess that kind of makes sense. He's cold. And is he generous? He didn't grow up in luxury. Yeah, this is the only one that makes sense for this.
You see? Cust's character is quite the opposite of the murderer's.
But if he's a madman, can we really talk about his character?
You know very well that our murderer does not behave like a psychopath. Apart from the signature, there is no ritual repetition in the choice of victims.
Very well, you're right as always. So we have no confession, no culprit, no suspects, nothing. And all that after 2 months of inquiry? What should I do?
Have faith. Just give me 24 hours.
So our protagonist here is very confident, although I don't really know where to go from this point. Who do I look to? Who do I suspect? I don't even know. But let's head back home to London and see if there's anything there.
Heaven, please.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what to think at this point. Who could it be? I definitely need a little bit more clues here.
Cust's arrest is a great success for you, Poirot. It's all clear now, except maybe 1 or 2 details.
Details. Ah, mon ami. The devil is in the detail, as we say.
Excuse me?
Patience, Hastings. Everything will be clear once our guests arrive. Best be prepared. Slip a revolver into your pocket before they do.
A revolver? But Poirot, what are you afraid of?
Trust me. It is important you carry a weapon for this meeting. I will lend you mine.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait one moment, I will bring you my weapon.
Alright, so that got very strange. It looks like Hercule Poirot knows what's going on. He's just not really revealing what he's thinking. But it looks like he already knows what's going on, and maybe we'll find out in the next episode. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and we will continue this murder mystery in the next episode. Thanks for watching.